things. We just record them without telling them, like it's one of those undercover camera shows. So that was polite. Oh no, Nyx is already making paper balls. We should have stood on separate sides, so I was on the side with the paper and she was on the side with the important documents.
That would have been a better idea. That way she couldn't. Actually, no, because then Nyx would have rolled up the paper documents that are in Mo's desk.
You really think you don't? Oh, now I'm just trapped. This is even worse.
This is very organized.
Hell, we're trying, sir. Alright. So let's get started. Unless someone else wants to lead this today. It's totally up to you two. You wanna try? You know what, we'll
Go
just
for
bounce it back
We'll
and
bounce
forth.
again.
We like bouncing this interview around. What can go wrong? Alright, sir, so, you said you were formerly Parks, correct?
Yep, I was one of the main lead supervisors.
Okay. So what has made you decide to come into the police department? Why the sudden the high-octane life of law enforcement?
Well, I heard of the recent suspension of the Parks Department. Well, I was informed of it, and I heard the LSPD was doing game warden, so I thought I could probably throw my hand in it. Probably do a good job.
Yeah, so
I was a firefighter, so I'm good to high stress.
you're interested in similar style work to what you did in Parks to a degree, at least. Expanding it a little bit, you think?
Yeah, good to stretch my arms out.
Okay. What were some of your strengths in Parks? Where'd you shine there? You said you were a pretty big member there. You were part of the council, you said? So, what'd you do
head council.
for them?
Mostly heard a lot of the behind the scenes runnings of the entire pay experiment, whether it came to finances, you know, rangers, and anything that leadership wise that happened in the Batman basically went through me.
Hey, anyone that can do financing is always welcome because this department needs some financing. Shouldn't say that until he's stuck here. All right, sir. Were there any points that you felt you struggled with that you might affect you in okay, you both don't need to stare at me at the same time. Now I'm just gonna get all mumbly. Were there any points that you struggled with in particular with in Parks? Anything that you feel you could grow at here in the department that you might not be your greatest strength, and that's okay. We're not all great at everything. That would make life pretty boring. Is there anything and like that for you in particular, a weaker point you would say?
Between you and me, reading's been a bit of a hard one. I've been a really good master of text to speech since then. I'm really good at that one.
That's fair. That's fair. I've rambled through like 4 questions without even coming up for air. Do you have anything you want to ask him?
Yeah. You stated you were a supervisor in Parks. Can you give me an example of when you had to do something like that and how you worked with your fellow Parks members? Just curious.
There was never really anything on the field I had to deal with. I was mostly the behind the scenes kind of supervisor, if you know what I mean.
Got you. Then follow up on that. As a Parks and or firefighter, were there any scenes that you had to deal with that were high stress and that you handled in a way? If you could describe one of those, that'd be greatly appreciated.
I mean, the recent one to memory was that situation at the jury still, which wasn't optimal, but it got done because, Panthers or whatever it was. That went okay. Managed to, get the murder kitty out of the building all safely, so no one was there. Get it in the truck, get it all to a rehabilitation for the wild, all that kind of thing,
Well, Miss Rady, go clean up the service, okay? Yes, get out of here.
So the murder kitty is still living happily.
Billy, if you want to
yep, it's somewhere up in the hills.
Please, thank you.
Okay.
Nyx, do you have any questions?
When?
Yeah.
Nix is gonna maybe ask you a question, or we're just gonna all stare at her for an extended amount of time.
She says, "Do you understand sign language, Mr. Starr?"
The negative.
Okay.
I'll tell
She's
you what she
basically
said.
said,
She said
do
she's
you-
observing this amazing interview we're giving right here, me and
"Wait,
86,
how
and we
much
are
of
just
sign language can you read, Bob?"
just the stuff that's important. And I got that we're amazing and that we're in an interview, so that's what I'm.
Selective in hearing then.
Selective viewing, really.
Hey, have you guys seen the blue sultan before?
Yes, before.
Yeah. So Rainy, she says her sultan got stolen by Sean McConnell.
1-4 took a statement from her yesterday and is probably going to make moves on it to get a arrest warrant.
I think she's signing that I am brilliant.
Was any sultan like seized or anything like that?
I mean,
Welcome
she is
aboard.
right, Bob.
No.
Did we check?
We haven't seized any vehicles from Sean McConnell recently, fucker.
Okay.
She can see she can hardly contain her excitement. Okay. Now you're looking to join, and I understand it's kind of a natural step for you, but why specifically law enforcement? What got you in this field even before you went into parks? Why did you start down this path at all of protecting and serving and like civil duties in general?
Well, my mind was, you know, all these poor little animals were getting injured and all that. You got to stop them from getting it. So this is just a little step, protecting people, all these little people getting it. Got to rehabilitate them, put them into the wild. Oh, well, that's not what we did. It's not how people work.
Okay, so you're protecting and serving animals. How'd that translate to humans now? How will that?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't tried.
Okay, so this is like a soul-searching, self-reflection experiment then.
Not really. It's more of a, you know, if I'm good at protecting, you know, people, not people, animals. You know, I'd go to protect people more than I did in the past.
Okay, but then you also ran into burning buildings. So, what drove you there? Because you weren't just driven to save animals there, unless you were, and you were just like to the people, which I
I don't
hope.
remember that was way over a year ago. I don't remember that far.
Okay, that's fair. So what gets you up in the morning, sir? I mean, it can't just all be I mean, it could be. I'm not judging. It could just be the rescue. But why are you here now? And if you say breakfast, I might just fall over. So what wakes you up
I'm
in the morning and gets you moving?
I mean, my natural body system is what gets me up and moving generally.
But what drives you?
Yeah, like, why?
My cat.
Your cat drives you?
No, my cat.
Oh, your
Oh,
car.
car. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
But I need you to dig deep here, sir, in your soul.
Like,
What
are you-
like is it the smell of success and new opportunities in the morning that drives you, or the fear
saving
of life?
Bambi?
Yeah.
My wife drives me. This is why I come in every day. This is why I sleep here sometimes. It's because of my wife.
Excuse me for a minute.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna.
you can do it. I believe in you.
Don't mind me. I'm just doing paperwork.
You're fine. There's no other. I just don't like the light coming in through this window.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a second. Let me do some predictive policing.
Okay. I don't really have a drive. I just kind of,
Oh, that's the wrong way.
did it.
He
Fucker
could be.
came
You know,
in.
that's true. I think Nyx just wants to break me. It's fine. She
Okay.
wants to break me down emotionally and figure out what gets me up in the morning. Well, okay, you don't really have a drive. You just get it.
I'm not
I
gonna do that. Never
understand.
mind.
You just
It's
you
gonna
just
get it.
smell it.
I don't
It's
really
alright.
understand what you mean by
Yeah,
drive
just shift
still,
a bit.
or what a soul is. So,
Nyx. Well,
yeah.
Nyx is
Set
now
on you.
Santa. Okay.
I said on her, made him move. Sorry.
Yes, I mean what I'm trying to get at here, sir, is like you gotta have some you gotta have something you want to succeed with. Some bigger desire in life besides just
My desire is to make sure like animals and all that are fine, all safe and good. Or yeah.
okay. I like it. You like to make sure
So
the animals are
that
safe
was
and
mostly
good.
my motive when I was in Perks. Now it's gonna be updating to people. Make sure
okay.
everybody's all good.
So you're prepared as a incoming officer to, hop in and go to banks and such, while also being able to answer park scenes if need be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Oh, sorry. Sign that again, Nyx. I missed some of that. Were you involved in writing any of the SOPs for parks?
He was, yes. That was it comes along with the Perks Council label.
okay. I have seen those SLPs. They're
Got you.
quite,
Which ones did you specifically write, if you don't mind, since Bob's seen them?
Hold on, I'll have to have a look. I don't think I wrote any, but I definitely was there when they were writing them, giving my feedback and input. I'll check if I actually wrote any myself because I don't remember.
Okay.
It's a while ago now.
It's all good. I was just curious.
That's a good inquiry. Inquiry is a fun word to say.
It is a fun word to say.
I appear to be having issues finding my own parks sheet here. Give me a moment.
You're not the first person to have issues finding that. Hold on a second.
I find it funny that their own
Inquisition, huh,
warden
Nyx?
would have issues.
Hey, Bob. You're not on dispatch.
I know. I didn't want to. I wasn't even getting on the radio. I was just here to
Okay.
look pretty.
Okay, so you're going off duty after this?
We'll see how this goes. Emotionally drained after this interview.
Why?
I'm not that scary.
Why? That's a good question. But
Oh,
I need to save the good answers for when it's my turn to be interviewed.
hey, Bob, I didn't mean to upset you, but I believe you got the old sheet there.
Really? Well, if you could find that's the newest one that the other Parks Council could find. So if you could find an even newer version,
Yeah,
I
no,
would
I'll see if
love
I can
to
get
see
you the
it.
latest one. Yeah. I used to know a place where I could get it, but I believe the email thread for that was deleted.
It's fine. We can move on and then talk about it later.
Yeah, I'll get that to you later.
I believe it's, after Parks kind of got dissolved or whatever, everything kind of went up in smoke very quickly. I believe it was
Yep.
quite
Yes,
sporadic.
it did.
It's
It
not.
was very chaotic.
That's scary.
Think about it like if the entire MRPD shut down and everyone was running around trying to shred files and everything before the
Why would
general.
you want to shred everything, though?
It's like when you leave someplace and you need to destroy anything you can't take with you. You gotta hurry up and.
That's just selfish, though.
I don't know, that's just what I picture. Like a mad dash for craziness. Like protecting civilians. It's not really selfish. It's more like you wouldn't want our civilians to records that aren't supposed to be public to get out.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's um.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll just move on, sir. It's not that big of a deal. We can look at those later.
Yeah, I'll
But
get it for you like some other time.
if you were an active member of that, we still haven't even really figured out what that's going to look like for in the PD. How do you feel? How would you feel about communicating those ideas to us? A big part of the department is we like to be active listeners. We like to hear new ideas and grow. How are you at communicating ideas and being open with things such as SOPs and quality of our department and making things change and evolve? Have you ever did you feel comfortable doing that with part?
I mean, I often did bring up any issues I found to our other council members, so I do believe I can do that. Yep. I don't really know what to say, but
More of some people don't like to have those discussions of like going through and trying to make and evolve, and I just am curious how you are at helping things change and evolve and develop.
I mean, I like to think if there's an issue, it needs to get fixed, right?
Okay, so you like to fix things as they move along there. You want to keep things changing and evolving. I just asked because specifically parks right now is a big question mark. So and look for input, and when anybody that's open to communicate those ideas is a win. That's always a beneficial thing. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What if you name a time that you were put in a
Go ahead.
bad situation and looking back you could
Currently
either
at
have
a clothing
improved it or made it better and like you reflected on that and caught that moment for yourself. You realize, oh, that wasn't so good, and grew as a person from it.
That's a
The
good
only kind of
question.
situations I would have with that were from the fire department, which was a long time ago now, so I don't really have any that I would actively remember.
Hmm.
There's no example of like self growth as a person.
I mean, I know I think there was that one time I did clash with you a little bit, but that I wouldn't want to clash as much, but about it.
Hmm.
I haven't really been around as
243, any
much as
particular reason you were wondering, or?
I've been in the past, so I don't really have much recently.
Yeah, well, what's your story then, sir? I mean, you came into FD. That seems like very
10
far away.
for
Were you
are you at
born in this
MRPD?
city? How'd you raise up? Where'd you come
Oh,
from? What's your
I don't actually know where I'm from. I think I'm from England somewhere. I don't know. I kind of don't have a good memory. Uh, flew over, I think.
I'm from West
Joined FD.
Philadelphia.
Were you
He knows
born
where
and
he is.
raised?
I was
Okay.
born and raised there.
But I was in FD for a good while. Left. Joined Park. Rose through the ranks of Perk. And Perks dissolved. And I'm here.
What made you leave the fire department?
That's a loaded question. I would have to get.
Sir, I don't know if
loaded
you've noticed.
question.
I like to ramble. I'm all about loaded questions.
I mean,
Well, we have loaded time.
is this list of something I would be able to explain? It goes. It goes further than me.
Try your best.
In the short term, disagreements with leadership.
Okay. Yeah. Did you just step on the cat? Oh,
Whoops.
I think you need to apologize to the poor
I
cat.
dare
It
you
is
step
in
on that little
distress.
cat. Let's
allergic.
strike.
So you step on people? Oh my! You step on cats that you're allergic to?
I'm allergic
I
to all
think you
cats.
meant to step on her.
Doesn't mean you step on them.
I'm literally
His
to all
response,
animals.
though, when I asked that he stepped on him, his first response was he's allergic.
I didn't
Oh
make you step on it.
no. Poor Striker. You got him all up in a. Oh, I get it. You can't say sorry to Striker because you're. I'm sorry. I misunderstood your
Yeah.
response. That makes a lot more sense.
Oh goodness.
Wow.
It's whenever they touch me, I break out in hives.
Okay.
Okay. So. What would you consider a weakness of yours that you have encountered at work and that you overcome while at work, in one way or fashion?
Well, I learnt what it means to die.
Have you died, sir?
No, but I figured out what death means. I learned that last week.
Prior to last week, you didn't know what death means.
Nope. When people just fell asleep, I didn't know what it meant. Or well, died. I just thought they fell asleep.
Interesting.
As you can see, I'm very smart. My
Okay.
mother was really proud of my grades. You know, I did really well. I got all Fs. She was really proud of me.
You had
All
straight
Fs.
Fs.
She was really proud of me.
That's perfect
She's-
for a cop.
She was so proud of me, she kicked me out of her house. She said I need to get better. I don't know what it meant though. She's really proud of me. Don't really talk to me though.
Do you need a GED to be a cop? I think you do.
Yeah. We haven't background checked that in like 3
Oh,
years.
is that not something that's actually on the background checking form anymore?
I
You
mean,
don't
it might
actually
be,
need a
but
high
I
school
don't think it's
education.
actually successfully ever done. I don't know one officer that's ever actually looked into it.
Huh.
Oh,
Wow, you didn't need to
I
kick
saved you.
Mo's desk for that
I was
shit.
trying to save you from a
Jeez.
spider.
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
sorry. Yeah, you're
So it's
welcome.
like
Those
the draw
desk
spider.
snipers.
Snipers, yeah.
The snipers?
Yeah, it's always been assumed that they've had a GED or equivalent. Okay,
Well, I transferred here from West Philadelphia.
where you were born and
I need to
raised.
stretch my legs
Yes.
quickly.
I feel like if we start asking people if they have GEDs, we're gonna lose like half our police force.
I'm
Well, some
Yeah.
people have high school diplomas. You got to remember that.
oh, like
You don't need
to
a
proof
GED.
saying that they went through school in their country.
Yeah.
and I've got a college degree from London, so yeah. Next has her high school diploma. Anywho,
High school, the good old days.
Where when you were in Philadelphia?
where you were born and
Yeah.
raised.
Yes. Yes, I get it, guys. I was born and raised there. You know where I patrolled around the playgrounds. So I
Is that where
spent
you
most
spent
of my
most of
days.
your? Yeah.
Yep. It was pretty chill, relaxed now, you know. Till I met these couple of guys, and they were really up to no good. They
Did
were
your
making
mama
really-
send you?
No,
Okay.
they were making trouble in the neighborhood.
Oh, I skipped part of your story. I'm sorry. I don't know what my son.
They were making trouble in the neighborhood, and somebody got into a fight, and my wife got scared. So we said,
No, you were married from in
Wait,
school?
what?
I thought you were gonna say your
this is-
mama got
this is-
scared.
no, this is the story how I transferred here.
Oh, I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Yeah, I
I
transferred this year here.
Story time.
Okay,
Have-
the more you know.
Have you seen the Fresh Prince of Bel Air?
No,
That's fine. Don't watch it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I order as a this is my first official bossy order as a lieutenant. I order you not to watch that show. Ever.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Why
Yeah.
you pointed at me? Me go outside? Why?
Okay, let's get this back on on the rails. Let's get it back on
yeah,
track.
yeah. Our train went completely off counter.
Mm-hmm.
She.
4-5! What do you need help with?
What's
I won the 4-5?
okay.
Oh my god.
4-5 needs help with something.
What?
Sorry, you're gonna.
We've
interrupt
talked about
the
your
parts,
weaknesses a
whatever.
lot. You've talked about some of your weaknesses, but like, what are your strengths? When was there before anything else besides just saving animals? Just like your greatest value as a person, which I guess saving animals is just an intrinsic
Existing.
value. Existing? Okay.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not dead, so that's a pretty good value thing to have. Not existing would be, you know, kind of sick. Kind of value existing.
hi, Percy.
Okay. But if you don't know what like is driving you, why is that?
I mean,
Well,
I'm driving me in the morning.
All right, I'm rephrasing my question. Yeah, let's backpedal here a little bit. You like to be alive.
I like to be alive. Yep, I enjoy not being dead. It's quite
What's
nice.
your favorite part about life?
My caramel frappuccino.
What's your inspiration though? Like, is it the caramel frappuccino that is motivating you?
Did you just understand sign language for inspiration?
Listen, I'm gonna
Oh
be
my
honest
God.
with you. I just lie about sign language so I can say what I want next to. Never
That
mind.
makes so much more sense. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused.
it's fine. Yeah, what motivates you and what's like your inspiration?
My dad inspires me, although I've been told he's not a really good inspiration. He likes to sit on the corner of the street. He looked like a corpse.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Tell us about your past with your father. Yeah, let's dig deep.
I mean, do you want my actual dad or my adopted dad?
Whoever you want to tell us about. Pick one. Dealer's choice. The one that inspired you, preferably.
I mean, they both did.
Whichever one you want to talk about.
I mean, they're both just as good. I mean, one of them like poking himself a lot with needles, and the other one was I believe he was a personal assistant of a corporate CEO.
Okay, how did they inspire you then? What part of their life inspired you to be who you are?
I mean, they told me to clean my room when I didn't want to, and they made me do it.
So, discipline?
Uh, I don't know what that word means.
Oh,
Work harder skills.
Yes, they did. They did make me work harder skills.
Okay. What's better, waffles or pancakes?
Claire
It
of the
depends on the waffle.
Wastelanders?
It depends if it's a potato waffle or like a French waffle with like sugar on it.
So some waffles are better than pancakes, is what I'm hearing.
Which choice will get me the job? Because I'm
That's-
quite indifferent.
that question is not going to be what gets you the job or not. So
No, that's called a filler question, sir, and it's
Mhm.
when I'm sitting here scratching my head to ask
we
another
had those.
question.
We had those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness.
You know. You want filler questions? I'll come to you with a filler question.
I got
Alright.
a question for you.
Which starts with an E, ends with an E, but only has one letter in it.
I'll answer that in a second. What is O1's filler question?
It's
Or
not really a-
non-filler question?
it's not
What's
really
just
a
O1's
non-filler.
question?
Say
I'm
you got
confused.
hired,
Wait.
okay? And you
Yep.
see somebody getting robbed. What is your first
Yep.
response?
A radio that they're getting robbed.
Okay. Then what?
Then what? What do you do?
I mean, I haven't been trained.
Okay.
That's a fair response.
Fair-
At least
fair
he
response,
knows he
fair
hasn't
response.
been trained. Okay. Alright, sir. I'm gonna need you to like dig deep for this question. This is like your save all the marbles for
mean,
all
do you
the
have a
other
shovel then?
supervisors.
Do you have a shovel then if I need to dig deep?
It's Idris.
Oh shit. Okay. Can we pause the interview for a moment since I have the? Oh, Nyx is gonna go
Mhm.
talk to him.
Okay.